So I have been getting some comments that are criticizing what I do here with dogs. It was a video with this guy featured on it. And there's many points that these people are looking to make, and I will be addressing them. One of the things is about having so many dogs in small spaces, and that they are confined in a small space and they don't have the ability to flee. But the thing is that in that video, they had the ability to come outside. They could flee. It would be totally fine. And so when I look at their claims, they don't have any context. They don't understand what it is that I'm actually doing. They don't understand the dogs and each one of the personalities and what we're doing. They're so used to looking at things through the dog training lens that they're not taking the time to understand what it is that I'm doing, because they have their beliefs. And instead they make comments. They make comments. And so I'm going to walk, and I'm just going to go into the bus. I'm just headed that way. You can see I'm not interested in telling any of the dogs to come with me. It's their choice. It's their choice. I have no problem with them staying outside, doing any of that. That's cool. Okay, that's fine. But we're gonna come in here and let's see kind of what happens here. We'll sit down in the bus. They're making comments about having dogs in muzzles. Safety. I'm working on many different things. There's Archer. Working on many different things. There's Samson, the black dog out there. See, we're used to dog training being this one-on-one thing, and we're teaching them to sit and telling them to place, and we're thinking positive reinforcement. But we need to be looking at, how do dogs actually think? How do they communicate? How do they really navigate things? And so I put dogs together to give them an opportunity to socialize, and I'm a mediator. I'm looking to ensure things move in a positive direction. That's what I'm looking to do. This dog was going to be killed. This dog was going to be killed. This dog right here was going to be killed. There's many dogs here that's what things were looking like for them. Being to multiple different trainers, medications, experts, and yet they do better with me. And I might not have a background where I was formally educated by some school, but I have experience. I am always studying this thing, and so when I say that I am a specialist, I specialize in aggression. That's what I specialize in. This does not mean when you look at the word specialist, it does not mean that this is a word used for that you've went to school and you have a degree. No, a specialist is someone that focuses on a specific area. And for me, it's aggression. And I've been focused on aggression for many, many years. Since the beginning. And so this is why, like, when I say that it truly communicates what I am. I'm an aggression specialist. I focus on aggression. That's what I do. And I show my work. I talk about things, but this thing is there's so much going on that it takes a lot of time and energy. It takes people to really get around it and for us to talk and for them to see things and experience things, for them to start wrapping their head around it. But people can say what they want. I'm telling the truth. I'm being honest. I'm not deceiving people. You know, I want to add, see how there's a bone out here? I've had people leave comments and saying, you shouldn't have bones around. There's a bone, there's a bone. Here's another bone over here, another bone over here. They say, you shouldn't have bones around multiple dogs. That's playing with fire. You shouldn't do those things. But I do. It might not be your cup of tea. You might want to navigate life a certain way. You might want to train your dog. Might want to tell him to place or to sit or to down or to heel. I don't want to do those things. I want the dogs to have an organic life. One with more freedom. I want to teach them how to truly navigate the world. And then I'm there as a leader, as a mediator. I'm there to assist. But this is, to me, what it's all about. Truly understanding the dogs for who they really are by nature. The pet idea is a concept that we're placing onto them. Dogs are not born as pets. They don't think of themselves as pets. That's not how they think. I want the organic, natural relationship where I understand them and I'm always learning. Always learning. So important to never stop learning and growing. I'm always doing that. I just keep thinking how funny it is that I film this way and then people say, oh, it's such a small space and they're confined. It just cracks me up all the time. And there's times where I'm going to cram them in a tight space to allow for them to deal with being bumped into one another and being in close quarters so that they can learn how to navigate that. I'm preparing them for real life. And I find that a lot of people and what they do is not actually preparing them for real life. When you step out onto this street, you're going to deal with things that training is not going to prepare you for. I don't do training. I'm looking at this in a different way. And so we'll be back and we'll be continuing to hit on these points. We'll continue to do it.